Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be dropping the subframe of a JZX. Hopefully it goes smoothly, like we don't find any cracks or anything like that in the subframe, but we'll see. So right now we're just working. I have my brother here helping me today. We're just getting all the little miscellaneous stuff out of the way, so like brakes, the sway bar, things like that, things that detach, so we can just drop the subframe as one big thing. I guess the tricky part for some people is removing the back seats. All you gotta do to remove the back seat is pull up, kind of like in the middle, but these tabs, while we are talking, you guys can't see anything. So to remove the back seats, all you do is you pry from the middle, or from around the seat. But pretty much the cushion is just like held in with these plastic components, so you just grab from under the seat and pull it up, and then the back seat will be bolted, depending how stock the car is, will be bolted at the bottom by these little things right there. There'll be, I think, 4 of them along. Mine didn't come with any, so I didn't have to worry about that. So all you do at that point is this lifts up, and then you can pull it out, and then you can just leave it in here for the time being. But the reason why you gotta the reason why you gotta remove the seat is to get rid of the ABS sensors. And the ABS sensors are these guys right here. So you can leave these unplugged and take the light bulb out of the cluster, but the sensors go through this hole in the firewall and they connect to the hubs. So unplug them if you still have them. Pretty sure if your car is stock you will have that. Same thing on the other side. Then once that's out, you'll come down here, and then it'll run along the body. It runs along the body right here, just like that. It goes through that hole. Goes through that hole right there. It's there. 2 10mm. There's one there, and then one on the arm. There we go. Give you guys some light. So yeah, unbolt those. You'll be good to go. The calipers, unbolt them, and you can connect them to the sway bar. What we're doing is we're trying to undo the sway bar, I guess, where it connects to the arm at the bottom. And you need I think that's a 7 32 or 732 Allen key. And then you can put it on a 17 wrench. And the way he's doing it now is the way you'll break it loose. So yeah, it takes a little bit of force. Other than that, typical things: undo your exhaust, undo the diff bolts, or the drive shaft bolts. I gotta pull the drive shaft off, and then that should be it. And then you should be good to be able to drop the subframe with the 4 bolts. I think it's 4. I mean the 2, or the bolts where the outer ears are. It'll make more sense. I'll show you then. Alright, so my apologies for not documenting this as well as I should have, but like, it's really easy to pull this thing out. It's these 2 bolts right here, right there, and up there, and then these 8 bolts, 4 there and 4 there, and the subframe literally drops out. You have to disconnect the coilover, which goes in between here. These 2 pieces right there is just one single bolt through it. Remove that, and it literally comes out of the car. Yeah, my coilovers are still in there. The brake and the sway bar are still there. I recommend having a second person, because one person can pull the sway bar up and the other person can pull the subframe out. And other than that, that's it. Oh, the brake stuff, I'll put a YouTube video in the description on how to remove this, because it's old school technology and it's kind of annoying to get out. This was the longest part of all this. But yeah, other than that, we'll go ahead and swap the serial 9 bushings on here, get it ready to be welded up with the reinforcement plates, and we're going to clean it up and we're going to repaint it, because as you can see, it's pretty grimy under there. And then this is a good point to check for any cracks in the subframe. I'm looking around right now, but nothing stands out immediately. I'm going to check the body of the car as well and make sure. I'm also going to check the diff mounting locations. But yeah, Alright then, I'll pick up the camera once this thing's more torn apart.
Guys, so a little quick update. I managed to get all the bushings out of the subframe.
These holes right here, those two are the diff ones, those are the actual subframe ones. Those are already in the trash. I'm finishing the diff up right now. I got one of them out, I got the other one started. It's almost out. You should be able to get these bushings out with just chisels and a hammer and a lot of strength. But I mean, I'm not a big guy, so this wasn't awful. Honestly, the S14 ones are worse. I mean, S chassis ones are worse. Yeah, here I'm out of breath. But yeah, S chassis are definitely harder than these. You don't have to cut, you don't have to burn, you don't have to do anything like that. Just hammering them out, and like, here's a good one. Hammering around lips or under the lips, and then hitting it from behind. That's how I did these, and they come out. That's for the diff that connects to the subframe. These are the ones in the subframe. These are really easy to come out. I didn't have to use PB Blast or anything. Oh, that's what I've been using. WD, brake cleaner, and PB Blaster. And it's helped soak in there, and it makes it slide out easier once you get it started. These ones in the back, you don't need anything special for that. Like I said, just your run-of-the-mill Harbor Freight chisels. Just these 3 sizes, and just alternate between them, and you should be able to get them out. But yeah. So I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll start getting the welding kit organized. This from Odyssey Fab. You can pick them up from them, and then we should be able to do all that. So yeah, good progress. I guess before I forget, let me show you guys how I managed to get this one out. So as you can see, these diff have 3 holes. There's 3 of these around. There's one here, and one on the back side. What I did first was get this really big chisel and stick it in there. It's almost like, it's built for that. So right there, go ahead and hit it a couple of times to bend the lip a little bit. Do it all around. Keep doing that until it's, since like it's obvious that it moved up. Then do the same thing but with the medium one. But with the medium one, you want to get a little bit under it more, and then keep working your way around the lip itself. And then this small one, I made it go this way because there's no relief cut over here. So this one, I just sent it over here, and that made the lip pry off on the back. And once I got this one almost all the way to the back section, I was able to then get the really big one, put it in horizontally, and then just start wailing on it, and then it started going up. In between, swapping between the chisels, I would always get PB Blaster or all these 3 and just soak it in there. Whoops. Just like that. And then just let it seep down in there. Just all 3, brake cleaner. And then some WD-40 in there. And then it'll come right out. So yeah, that's how I got the first one out. This is how I got the second one out. This one's pretty much out. I just gotta finish it up. So that's my pro tip for this one. Alright you guys, so I got all the bushings out. I'm going to go ahead and show you where the reinforcement kits go. For some reason there's no instructions on how to do it, like where each one should go. So it took me a little bit of time to figure it out. Like, yeah, you could look at it and kind of piece it together, but without Adam LZ's video, where he doesn't show, but like in the video he obviously shows the whole subframe. You can kind of piece together where it goes, and then on the Facebook group you can also see. So we'll start with this shape. See right there? This shape goes right here. So this is the front of the subframe. Yeah, so this is the front of the subframe. That's the rear, so you know where we're going. This one goes right up there, like this. Let me switch hands. But it goes into this one, near this arm. It goes in a little bit like that. So it'll go in that section. So that's for that one. Next is this shape. This shape will go up here, and this one goes in like this. Oops. That one goes in like that. It's towards the top of the subframe in the front. So it should look a little something like this. Once it's put together, should look like that with these 2 there. So that takes care of those. Next up is this shape, and this one fits towards the rear of the subframe, where that piece, where it bolts up there, and then that piece goes right under. Whoops, goes right underneath, like that. So it's the rear ear. These big pieces right here go in like this. They kind of butt up against the subframe there. But yeah, in short, there's a little piece right there for it to go, and then it just goes all the way welded in to here. So those two pieces like that go in there like this. Yeah, the tabs will face towards the body of the car, or the roof of the car. Okay, those will go in looking like that. And then these pieces are the last ones. The big one, the one that has the widest gap right here, goes all the way up here. Obviously has to fill the gap right there, like that. And then the last piece, this one right here, right on the bottom. And then that's the Odyssey JZX100. This is the JZX90 subframe. It fits. They did say in their little description that you might have to trim some of this. That wasn't the case for me, so I guess I kind of got lucky. So that's the only piece of advice, is you might have to trim these if you're on a 90, but I didn't have to. But yeah, that's the orientation of them. No one's I've looked everywhere and there's no one's, you know, shown exactly where they go. It's kind of funny, but yeah, that one goes there. This one goes right here. Well, if I can get it like that. There we go. And then this one up there, the last one. And then boom, that's the entire reinforcement kit installed loosely. So then you can MIG weld it to there and it'll be good to go. Then you can paint it and then you can put the bushings in and you'll be good to go. Alright guys, so it's the next day. Went and got my welding plates in, and I went ahead and spray painted. I didn't opt for powder coating or like painting it with a spray gun or anything. It's just time wise and just, you know what it is, it's a subframe. So I did get rid of all the rust. Like any surface rust that was there, took it off, and then we went ahead and painted it. Oh, I guess before I go, one piece of advice. Before installing these ones, as you can see, this one is 2 bolts and it matters which way you put it in. So you put in crooked, you're kind of screwed. What I ended up doing was the diff bolts into the rear there, and then these can slide back and forth. So the diff can move back and forth according to those. So what I did is I bolted it in the back, and then I slid it back a little bit, and then I kind of started this bushing a little bit. So in case if I messed up, I could pop it out. Well, obviously not this one, but this one. So I did this one first, and the reason I did this one first was there's like a cutout on the back of it for the ear of this bushing, you know, where the bolt hole goes. So it butts up against there, and it lines up the diff pretty good. Then you can finish off sending that one in, and then once that one's in, it's pretty much lined up to accept this one. So same deal. You want to like lightly tap it in, and then I got the bolt that goes into here, and I threaded it in. And then I made sure this was still lined up correctly, and then I took out the bolt, and then I just hammered it in, and then I would just check it every now and again to make sure it's still lined up, and it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in, and then the diff will be secured, and then I'm gonna put everything together and into the car. Alright guys, so the JZX is back on the floor. Subframe is all done, is in there. I took it for a test drive. Let me show you guys the back. So yeah, subframe is in. I have to go get an alignment because the arms were out, of course, but I did take pictures of where they were, and I kind of lined them up to what the pictures were at. You guys can see the subframe there all mounted in. You definitely will notice more rear end noise. It's pretty obvious that you did not solid subframe bushings, you did Durlin or whatever they call it, but it's still not the rubber stuff. So you will hear your diff clunking every time you shift, it unloads and all this other stuff. It will make noise and you will hear it, but it's not too bad. It's definitely drivable, like a daily road car type deal. So it's not the end of the world. This car does have full interior still, and even with full interior, it's still, you can still hear it. You hear a little bit of a diff whine, but it's not that bad. It's, yeah, like I said, you hear more clunking, if anything. But yeah, this car is going to be done for a little bit. The next thing on the list of stuff I have to do are going to be rack bushings, which is the same as an IS300. I have to do coilovers, and I have to do excessive arms in the rear. And I need to do the rear knuckle bushing, because these are starting to wear out, and those can cause problems later on where you'll be drifting and you'll hear like this weird banging sound in the back. It's literally the knuckle piece that deteriorated. But yeah, so comparing these bushings to a solid aluminum bushing that I have on this car, it's pretty gnarly in this car. You hear the diff whining. Yeah, this car, they're still really loud compared to this one. So definitely serial 9 bushings help with the noise, but it's still not perfect. But either way, I didn't expect them to be perfect, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, this car, full race car, stripped out, blah, blah, blah. This thing sells full interior, and it makes all the noises of the solid subframe bushings in the back. But yeah, but other than that, I'm really happy with how they came out and how easy they are to install in the JZX compared to an S chassis. But yeah, other than that, super happy with the quality and I guess the turnaround time. It took me about 4 days to get this all done. So this car is going to be under the knife next. We got to go to Mid-Pond to drive with a bunch of friends. We're going to drive this car. Then when we get back, we're going to put the KAT setup in it. Got to yank it out, do all that good stuff. Then once we're done with that car, we're going to jump back to this one. We're going to try and do all the stuff that I mentioned earlier, and we're going to take the 1J out of this car and then go single mount, head gasket, studs, all that stuff. So hopefully that goes good. But like I said, that's going to happen after we're done with this car, because I really want to get this car on the road. Yeah, like make it more comfortable to drive on the road. But yeah, so if you guys want to see more of these cars, definitely subscribe. I graduated school, like I finished college and all that, so I'm working full time and I have more time on my hands after work, so I can finally focus on these cars the way I wanted to, and also document this. I guess like my car stuff pretty much. So yeah, if you guys want to see more, leave a like and leave a comment if you have any questions on anything, and I'll definitely get back to you guys. So yeah, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I just realized that. Well, almost 1,000. It seems like a while away, but we're at 700 right now, so awesome. So thank you for anyone that subscribed and is watching. So we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.